Welcome once again to Senior Focus. I'm your host, Bill Adams. Senior Focus is a show designed for adults over the age of about 50 or so. But today we have an interesting show that hopefully it will appeal to all ages, and we'll get into that in a second. But before we do, I wanted to say thank you to Greg Roten. Greg is with Armstrong Cable, and he produces the show and makes sure that it gets to you. If you happen to have missed the show or parts of it, eventually the show is on YouTube, so you can go on www.youtube.com and just enter the term Senior Focus and Armstrong Cable, those two, and you'll be able to see the show later. So today, what I thought we'd do is, and let me just explain when we get started here. The last show we did was with the library, and it was about how the library has classes for seniors who want to learn about Facebook and other computer social media sites. So as far as Facebook goes, I've been on that for a long time, and one of the likes that I have, if you on Facebook, you know what that means, but one of the organizations I follow is called Centers for Hearing Care. And I saw on their Facebook page about a month ago that they had a recent luncheon for a number of their 90-plus-year-old clients and customers. So the gist of that was they talked about something called Live and Learn and Pass It On. And there's actually a book, I think it's now a series of books, but it's a little book of what it is basically is nuggets of wisdom from people of all ages. And, you know, just talking about, well, this is what it says. People ages 5 to 95 share what they've discovered about life, love, and other good stuff. So today, I thought we'd bring in some of the folks who were at that luncheon recently, and I'll introduce them as you see from left to right on the screen. And first we have Ken, and then we have Millie, and it's Ken and Millie Barnhart. Welcome. Nice to see you.
Welcome to you.
And next to them on the far right, we have Bert Wagner. Hi, Bert.
Hello.
Nice to see you. So let's just start by, if you could maybe any of you could pitch in, but what was that like? You had a picnic, I think, or sort of like a luncheon?
It was a luncheon. It was a lot of fun, and everybody threw in their 2 cents worth of life. I think I said something about be kind to your friends because God loves everybody. But in May, I had a close call, and it changes your attitude. I think you have to be kind to everybody, and if you have people that you disagree with or whatever, you should make friends with them, and because life is too short.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, I think of that in my own life, of people, you carry around grudges maybe, or something happened, it could be even years ago.
Right.
And you sort of lose track with those folks, but you're saying that something happened recently that caused
I had
you
a heart attack.
Yeah.
So,
well,
it changes your views on a lot of things, believe me. You appreciate your friends and your family more.
How are you feeling now? You feeling good?
Very good.
Yeah, that's good.
Thanks to my doctor over here.
Well, how about your doctor? Or do you have any thoughts about that, again, the picnic or the luncheon that you had?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was the best, well, they called it a luncheon, but it was a big dinner, really. We had delicious food, but what I enjoyed was the company of Bert here, and the people we sat with were so interesting. I just enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah, there were quite a few people. Any idea how many people were there? There was at least a dozen, right?
Let's see, about 24, 30, something
wow.
like that. I think there was 3 tables of 8. And everybody had their words of wisdom to say, and it was very entertaining.
Millie, do you remember what you shared with the group, or just some of the ideas you had?
I don't really remember what I had to say, but I guess it's just show respect to everybody. And most people are good, but we read about the bad ones.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. You know, the bad things sort of make the paper, but
That's all
every
the
day to
paper's
day,
about.
it's mostly good. Most of the
Right.
people you come across,
Right.
you know. And Bert, I almost called you by your full name, but you like to go by Bert.
Yes.
You-
I had a problem at the picnic.
Mhm.
About 2 months before the picnic, I fell and fractured my hip,
Oh, boy.
and I had a replacement. And it kind of kept me from doing the things that I normally do. I consider myself, for my age, to be very active. I do all different kinds of things. Especially now, I do a lot of flower gardening. And a while back, a police car stopped in front of my house. And I thought, what did I do wrong? And I walked over, and the young lady in the police car rolled the window down. She said, I had to stop and tell you, you have the most beautiful yard in Youngstown.
Wow.
So that made my day and my whole summer.
Oh, I bet. Somebody took the time to appreciate all the work you put
I'm
in.
still having a problem getting around, but things are improving a little bit every day. And I try to think positive. I think I can do it. At least I'm going to try to do it, even if I can't.
So, and again, all of the folks here, and we'll be talking with other folks in a minute, but you're all over 90, is that right?
Yes.
I think so. I'm going to be 96 in 2 months from now.
Oh, well, happy birthday in advance.
Thank you.
He's amazing.
Well, I want to thank each one of you for coming in and sharing. And again, good luck to you with the health issues that you have.
Right.
It seems like you're making some progress, towards being back to, full strength, we hope. So thank you, and we hope to see you, I guess, at next year's party, right?
Oh, well, I hope they
Hopefully
invite
we'll all
you.
be there.
Well, I hope I get invited this time, right? Well, thanks
They
again.
should have invited you for this one.
They forgot,
Oh,
but next time we'll get an invitation.
there you go.
And again, we've been talking with Ken and Millie Barnhart and Bert Wagner, and thank you to all of you. And we're back again with folks who came to the Centers for Hearing Care luncheon. And that luncheon, again, was based on this book, which is Live and Learn and Pass It On. It's a book of wisdom and little nuggets of knowledge from people ages 5 to 95 who share what they've discovered about life, love, and other good stuff, is what it says. So we have with us right now, we have, and I want to make sure I get your correct names, not your formal names, but it's Russ and Agee Blake. Russ and Agee are here to talk about, Agee, if you want to start about, what was it like at that luncheon, and what did you get out of that, I guess?
Well, we enjoyed the luncheon very much. We were kind of surprised that there's so many people 90 years old that were still able to get out for lunch. And they all were interesting. We talked to a lot of the people that day, and they have, one woman even has a job. She couldn't be here today because she's working.
Oh, she's working.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, I guess that's by choice, because
Yeah.
most people say, well, they get to 60 or 70 or whatever year, and they say, I'm going to retire, but if you like what you do, I guess, why not continue, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
She worked 3 or 4 days a week, she told us.
Wow. Russ, is there anything that stands out to you from that luncheon that you recall?
Well, to continue with what Aggie said, this lady's name was Margaret. And Margaret said she worked 88 years at General Motors, and then she retired, and for 2 years she toured the world. And then she came home and got the job, which she's doing right today at 97.
Wow.
So I thought that was pretty remarkable.
97.
Yes.
Oh,
She
my.
And
worked until she was 88 at General Motors.
Yes.
Hmm.
And the other people at the table where we were still active and doing things, and they were all very alert and wanted to talk about what they did. So it was a nice time, and people we'd never met before. And it was nice to see that people in their 90s were still very sociable.
Well, that is good to see everybody out and getting out and doing things. Speaking of which, are there activities that you two enjoy especially, maybe together or individually?
Most of our activity is centered around our family. We have great-grandchildren, and our son lives in Canton, Ohio, and our great-grandchildren, they're living there too. So we have family affairs, birthdays and holidays that we celebrate. We don't have too many friends left in Poland because they're at the age where they're disappearing. Either they're going to Florida or something else.
Well, how do you, maybe people have asked you this, but how do you stay so young? I mean, you obviously are in good health. I mean, you're able to get out and do things and enjoy your family. Are there things that you've done over the years to take care of yourself, do you think?
Well, I enjoyed my job, and when I retired, why, my family became a big part of my life. And the children, my grandchildren, they grew up, and they always kept us busy. And we were close enough that we could tolerate. And the church has been an important part of our life. And actually, that's where our friends are at this time.
Oh, so, which church is that?
The United Methodist Church in Poland.
Oh, good, okay.
And it's been what's kept us active. Agee's helps with dinners that they have over there. They don't let me do that anymore because I have bad eyes, and when I pour the coffee, sometimes I miss the cup a little bit.
Well, I do too. Don't feel bad.
But I played golf quite a bit up until the last, maybe 3 or 4 years. And that type of thing. Agee used to be in bridge clubs, but the bridge club died off, most of them, and but she misses that. And she had luncheons with friends up to a certain age. I'd say up to about 85, things were pretty good, but then from then on, it tapered off to where it became family. And I'm very, very thankful for my family.
We're lucky we have each other.
Yes.
That keeps you going much
yes.
better. And we've
Yes.
been married 71 years now. So
Oh, congratulations.
it's a long time.
Yes, the best thing that ever happened to me was when I met my wife. And it's kept us both going. And we want to stay around for each other as long as we can.
Well, we certainly hope that you're going to be around for the next party. I guess there are several that the Centers for Hearing Care has.
Yeah,
They have
that's-
little get-togethers during the...
That's kind of providing our social life, the parties and things that they have.
Well, and in fact, when you shared at that party, this is what I read online, Russ, you mentioned be close to your family, which you've discussed here, and take care of your ears. And you said, go ahead.
I thought that would get me paid for this interview.
That's good. Well, but that is a good, bit of wisdom, is that if you take care of your health and you go on regular checkups for all types of things, and again, keeping, on top of things, that you tend to have better health, I guess.
Well, it's good to keep in touch with the world, what's going on in the world. You'd like to know that.
And Agnes, you said, this is what they have for you, it's not the number of years you live, but how you live them.
That's right.
So using or getting together with family and having a good husband by your side, that really makes all the difference.
That's right.
Well, I want to thank you very much both for coming on. Again, we've been talking with Russ and Agee Blake, and they've been kind enough to share what I've learned, or live and learn, I guess, and pass it on. Thank you very much. Hi, welcome once again back. We're with Sheryl Figliano. Sheryl is an owner of Centers for Hearing Care, And we want to thank you very much for having this, well, having us here, but also for having the 90-plus group.
Well, we enjoy it. We really enjoy it. We enjoy having you here, and our patients who are over 90 absolutely love getting together socially.
Yeah, you could tell that they really enjoyed each other's company. And that's, we're going to go a little bit into some of the work that you do with folks who are in need in the community through your foundation. But why don't we just mention where you're located and give a little background about the Centers for Hearing Care.
All right. Well, we've been in this community for over 25 years now. Specifically, I've been in this community over 25 years now. And we have 7 offices here in the area. We have one right around the corner from where you are. Offices in Austintown, Boardman, Columbiana, Howland, Liberty, Salem, and Boardman. Patients will ask us, oh, and I didn't mention our Pepper Pike office, so I apologize, up near the Beechwood area. And patients ask us, why do we have so many offices? We're not a huge organization, but we choose to have offices around the area because many of our patients are older and they don't want to drive far from home.
What are some of the things if people come in and they're in need of, say somebody who hasn't had a hearing test for a long time, or maybe they're, a family member has said, I think you need to go in and get a test, or you need to get checked because they're having some problems. What are some of the services you have then?
Well, patients can come in and just have a consultation with any of our doctors of audiology to find out exactly that. What do I need? Maybe it's something so simple as just an ear cleaning. They may not be hearing well. They come in, we look in their ears, we clean them, and it solves the problem. And that's a good day because patients come in and they're really excited that they can hear again right away, and it was something so simple as an ear cleaning. If it's not that simple, then the first thing we start with is a hearing evaluation. One thing that we pride ourselves on here is working so closely with the area physicians to look at the person's overall hearing health. We specifically have one employee that we call our physician liaison that works just with area physicians to facilitate how they are sending patients to us. We want to make it easy, seamless for patients to come here, make sure that their insurance is being billed properly so they have the least amount out of their pocket, and that physicians know how important it is for patients with sugar diabetes and kidney disorders and thyroid problems and patients who are taking certain medications or are going through chemotherapies, how important it is for them to have a hearing test and for us to monitor that. After the hearing test, then we decide what's the best way to help. Do they just need something to help them hear the TV easier so that everyone in the living room can watch television at the same volume? Or something like an amplified telephone to help them speak to their family? Or maybe it is a hearing aid that's best for them, and we're going to put them through a 30-day trial period.
So you'll work with folks in order, if they do need a hearing aid, you'll help fit that and get that set for them.
Right.
And what are, if people don't know, what are some of the things about, the cost of a hearing aid, about paying for that? Does Medicare cover that? Does Medicaid? How does that work?
Well, those are great questions. So Medicaid will pay for one hearing aid, and unfortunately, we are not a Medicaid provider. And it's simply because it's a very, very difficult system to work with. And we weren't getting paid, unfortunately, which is why we started up our local mission to help patients. Some of them, even if they are on Medicaid, we're helping them get hearing aids that they could otherwise not afford. Now, Medicare does not pay for hearing aids, but we do offer payment plans. We also have a hearing aid for every lifestyle and every budget. So patients that come in to see us, we don't just say, wow, you need a really expensive hearing aid. We have a very lengthy discussion about what is your lifestyle, what things are you doing on a daily basis, on a weekly basis where you need to hear. Are you someone who is at home, who needs to communicate with your family by telephone? You like to watch TV, and maybe you go out once a week to get groceries and pick up your prescriptions. That's someone who has a very calm, tranquil, quiet lifestyle. Or are you the other end of the spectrum of someone who's playing bridge 3 days a week, you're in a bowling league, you go to garden club, you eat dinner 2 nights a week out in a restaurant, you go to church on Sunday. That's someone who has a very vibrant lifestyle. And we try to pick a technology level of hearing aid that best fits them, but also fits their pocketbook needs.
And you obviously have these clubs, like the 90 Plus Club. And I was talking with your husband, he was talking about, you have an Italian club, sort
We
of?
do, we do. So our 90s plus patients, and you heard today, they love getting together because socially many of their friends have passed on. They're always surprised when they show up how many patients are 90 and able to come out for lunch, and it's a great time for everyone to get together. And we learn so much from their wisdom of being around over 90 years. Our Italian club, patients love to come and speak the language. They want to talk about their culture. They want to sample foods that maybe they haven't had for years since they've immigrated here. And they love to tell their immigration story. And it's a great day to get together, but many of the patients are very sad sharing why they came here, the family members that they left behind, why they chose to leave their country. We, of course, pick Italy because near and dear to me is my husband and his family and his parents that did immigrate here.
Okay.
They do speak Italian, and just in talking with so many of our patients, they said, you know, we should all get together. And it ended up being one of the clubs that we have here for our patients, and they look forward to it every time they get together.
Well, that's great. Well, we're coming up, I think in December, you have the foundation, you know, and the work that you're doing. You have an event coming up, and if you want to talk about that a little bit, about how that works.
Yes, so every year our whole staff and this community gets so excited because it's once a year where we're literally giving away hearing aids to those who are in financial need. And I stress financial need. It can't be for folks that say, you know, I'm saving my money for something else. I don't want to buy hearing aids with that money. It's truly for patients who say, I have to decide every month what bills I can afford to pay, and I have nothing left over for something like a hearing aid. So patients that come in are put through a financial background check. They have to be very willing to give us those records. Some don't want to share their personal financial background, but it's something that we require. But it is a day where at least 25 patients are given the gift of hearing. Most of them are elderly, because financially that's really who needs the help. But we'll accept any ages. So if there's anyone out there listening that does want to apply, maybe it's your friend, your neighbor, a family member who is in financial need, we have a special number that is fielded by one of our employees who handles all the applications. And that number is 330-779-8090, 330-779-8090. Leave a message if no one answers the phone, because if she's with a patient, she's going to call you back. She'll tell you about the application. It's not a gimmick. If you want to join us that day, it's December 18th here in our office. It's a fabulous day. Lots of tears are shed because people say, you know, I just couldn't afford to do this, and now I can hear again. And they have a list of things that they want to do now that they can hear. We also invite all of our previous recipients from other years to come back and have lunch with us. So we like to talk with them about how are you doing, where are you now. For some of them, they've gone back to school, believe it or not. Some of them have decided to travel or start going back to church or get more involved in social activities because they can hear again.
Well, that's a good point. You know, just if you think about it, and most of us probably don't. We take our hearing for granted. We take our vision for granted. We take our health for granted. But if you think about what the loss of hearing means, and again, just through personal experience with people I've known and worked with, one of the things, you know, people get labeled sometimes as having maybe the beginnings of dementia or, you know, other illnesses, when in fact it's the hearing loss.
Right.
If you know, if you don't hear conversation, you react inappropriately or not at all, right?
Right, and I have to tell you, a lot of our 90s Club patients, the way that they found us was coming in for that evaluation. Family members get concerned, as you said, when patients respond inappropriately. So you might be in the living room and your family member's in the kitchen and you say, you know, Dad, we need to go pick up milk for you. And Dad says, oh, I just washed the car yesterday. And the family says, oh my gosh, you know, is this dementia? Many times we see patients who've been put on medications for dementia, and it's not dementia. They come in and get a hearing test, they get help for their hearing, and Dad starts acting normal again. So, you know, we work so closely with family doctors. If there's a concern of dementia or early dementia or any sign of it, even if there's a family incidence of this, get in and get a simple hearing test. The sooner we catch the hearing problem, the faster patients are going to hear well, and cognitively they're going to do much better.
And that's what you find again at your event coming up in December when you were talking about how people come back.
Right.
And I'm sure they're full of great stories of,
Oh my gosh.
you know, what a difference it's made.
Yep, it's amazing. And just to know how much something so simple as a hearing aid, like you said, we take for granted our hearing, can change someone's life. And we hear stories time and time again about, you know, we just thought that he had Alzheimer's disease. We just thought he had dementia. And look at him now. Look what he's doing. You know, he's at a garden club. He's playing bridge again. And there are things that we just don't think about. So it all starts with a simple hearing test. And whether patients can afford it or not, they need to call us because we're going to help them.
And if you don't mind, you want to give out the contact information again.
Sure. So the number is 330-779-8090. You can also find us at centersforhearingcare.com. And if any patients want to read the blog that we talked about today for our 90s Club, you can go to our website, www.centersforhearingcare.com, and click on our blog, and you'll be able to see a little bit about each of our 90s Club patients.
Well, and I know, again, you've been doing this for several years. Do you want to just mention also you've done international work? Just talk just a minute or so on that.
Yeah, another one of my loves, our whole staff's loves. We have been, since 1999, we've been traveling to other countries. We not only want to help people here who can't afford it, but in other countries. And November 7th, we leave for Guatemala. We have 150 children in the city of Guatemala that we will be seeing. 40 children in another town about an hour away that go to a deaf school that have a need for hearing aids. Many of the deaf schools in Guatemala, the children share hearing aids, if you can imagine that. So maybe on Monday, some students get to wear the hearing aids, and on Tuesday, other students get to wear hearing aids. We're so excited to be able to travel there, and every child in that school is going to get their own hearing aids. So we're so excited to get back to Guatemala.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate, again, we're talking with Sheryl Figliano and her husband, Fortunato Figliano. You're, you know, here at the Centers for Hearing Care here in Boardman, but as you said, you've got locations all throughout the county and the region now.
We do, and if anyone would like to donate old hearing aids, used hearing aids, go to our Centers for Hearing Care page. You can find our foundation there. We accept any donations, and it's such a wonderful recycling program.
Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks.
And again, we want to thank Greg Roten from Armstrong Cable for bringing the program to you. If you missed any of it, you could always check us out on YouTube. Just type in Senior Focus and Armstrong Cable in the search, and you can be able to watch the entire program. Again, until next time, thanks for watching.